How's it going, everyone? I don't even know how to start this, but I recently lost a friend. And the way in which they died was is they took their own life. And it came to a shock to many of us who knew him because we had no idea that anything was going on. I have conversations recorded with this guy, and I've like gone through hours and hours of footage looking to see if I could see any evidence that something like this was possible for him. And there was just nothing. It was just joy and laughter and just great conversation. I loved the guy. I hardly even knew him as much as I know some of the other people I know, but I just felt like we were best friends right from the start. And he was a creative genius. He was just brilliant. His work is brilliant. And his work is still brilliant. There's been a lot of death lately, but his passing and the way he went, it impacted me more than anyone else ever in my life. And I've been taking a lot of time to figure out why and kind of honor that feeling and try to honor him as best as I can. And, you know, when somebody goes like that, especially when it's so unexpected, there's a lot of unanswered questions. I think a combination of that and wishing I would have known so I could have been there more for him, especially like since this is what I've dedicated my life to. I'm not pursuing music as a career so much anymore as I am helping people pursue music and pursue a life that they're happy about. And again, creative wellness is just a Trojan horse for helping people get through. It's an intense world, and support systems for brilliant people and creative people and people that want to do better seem few and far between. And I just want to do my part to normalize those things. So the fact that I couldn't do more and talk to him more on a regular basis, it hurts. I'm not beating myself up about it, but I do regret it. All those feelings I've been holding and looking at and not trying to push away. I'm trying to process those feelings healthily for what I can do now, because I can't do anything about what's gone, what's past. And what I find is that I just really want to double down on my efforts to connect with people, both in my personal life and my professional life, and get help myself to do this and ask for help. This is something that I don't do normally. But this whole experience has really put into perspective how crucial it is that I have help to do more of this. I'm also doubling down on my appreciation and my gratefulness to everyone I do get to talk to. And I just really wanted to say thank you to everyone that has ever asked me for help. You have no idea what you're doing when you do that. You're not just helping yourself. You're helping me too. And more so than that, you're helping normalize the act of asking for help. And it can be as simple as, I need help with Ableton. I need help mixing. I need help making space in my life to do what I love. And it could be as difficult as, I need help to understand why I should continue. All of it helps to normalize the act of asking for help, which in the context is so utterly crucial, because if there's anything that this recent experience has driven home for me, it's that more than likely the people that need the most help won't ever feel comfortable enough to ask for it. So, what can we do about that? I've asked myself this for years. There's a lot of people, both friends and family, that I wanted to help more, but I could only do so much. At some point I realized that it makes the most sense to address not just personal issues, but issues that we see as a culture, as a society. One thing that a lot of talks about mental health don't get right is that there's so much time spent on defining disorder. You know, if you go to university and you master in psychology, you'll spend a lot of the time learning the face of disorder, assigning it names. You'll spend very little time, if any, assigning names and a face to order. Like, what does order look like? It exists. And just like disorder, there's many forms of order. And that's what I'm interested in helping normalize the idea of. Not just disorder, because I think it's useful to put a face to disorder, but also it's equally useful, and probably because of the lack of it being done, even more useful to give a face and name to order. My friend joked the other day, he said that I'm like a really affordable therapist who can teach you Ableton. I found that really funny, but I'm not a therapist. But I do understand what therapy aims to do, what a lot of mental health professionals aim to do, is the same thing I'm aiming to do. I too often see disorder being talked about like it's just a personal issue. Like depression and languishing and bipolarism, personality disorder, and all of these different things start and end with an individual. But what about the world we live in? What about the really popularly advertised ways that we're taught to practice behaviors of disorder and encourage disorder? I think that's a crucial thing that gets left out. The extreme of that is just people blaming everything else around them for their own problems. And none of these approaches get it right. Don't get it wrong. I'm completely about the idea that healing starts with us. Starts with the individual. Starts inside, in fact. But it's just that it doesn't end there. Right? That's what I wanted to discuss with you guys. This is what I need your help with. Last year I used the month of May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, to offer free weekly workshops on practicing behaviors of order. And I wanted to do the same this year, but in light of recent personal and global events, I want to do more. I want to spend this next month doing nothing but this. Just normalizing order. And I just can't do that alone. I already do that alone. Every day I have personal one-on-one sessions with people where I do this work all year round. What's different about what I want to do this month is I want to make it completely free and completely community-led and community-focused. I already have 4 creative wellness workshops for the month of May, but I want to do more than that. I want to have additional weekly sessions with as large a group of people as I can. Because again, our wellness and our pursuit of order and flow starts from the individual, yes, but it doesn't end there. In order for this to work, this has to be normalized. In order for it to be normalized, it's gotta be loud. It's gotta be involving more than me and another person. I want to see a lot of people talking about this, talking about these things, and not in the stigmatized way we're used to doing. This stuff is like common as air and water, and just as crucial. It makes no sense that these topics are so taboo or rare or heavy. Some of my best friends who are suicidal, we got through it because we could laugh about it. And I don't mean to trigger anyone or treat any of this lightly, but humor isn't light. It's a heavy drug. It's heavy medicine. I want to forge a new way of dealing with these things with you guys. And to be clear, I'm not suggesting any substitution for professional or necessary help. I think it's really important that people get all the help that they need, and that comes in many forms. But what I'm suggesting is that in addition to any of that help, we supplement with our efforts to create a world where helpfulness is commonplace, where support systems for wellness are a given and not isolated to your therapist's office. We only can really make a difference if this is as abundant as air, if solutions are just in our face 24/7, like other things that are advertised to us on a regular basis. And this is something that doesn't start or end with this month. This is a mentality we can adopt and practice to always be conscious in our efforts in raising the stock on care and being there for each other. And it's not difficult. It really just takes connecting our behaviors to something we already want to do. We have opportunities every single day to do this. And if you get nothing else from this video, just try to work that into your daily practice as a person to take advantage of these opportunities. So I have a plan, and there's 3 ways where you can help. You don't have to do all of these. Any one of these would be useful. The first is to show up. Any of the events that I'm putting on this month, if you have any sense of interest in it, or if you just have any sense of interest in contributing to this effort, just show up. The act of like somebody needing help and like showing up and there's a healthy amount of people there is very impactful. Your presence is huge. So show up. And if you can't show up, tell somebody about it. Suggest. Like I said, I want this effort to be community-led. I want to hear your thoughts. I already have plans for the creative wellness workshops, but I have additional plans for events that I have yet to solidify because I want your input. So, the second way, share your thoughts on what would be helpful for you to see. And the third way is to sponsor this. In the past, I would have put all my effort into doing this for free and not think about myself. But that's counterproductive to the overall goal of trying to do here. Let's be honest, I'm going to do it anyway. Whether people donate or not, I'm going to offer this for free for everyone. So please comment or message me with your thoughts. I'd love your input to this. I wouldn't just love your input to this. Your input to this is necessary. Your feedback is necessary. And any financial support you guys want to contribute, you can use this link to do so. And thank you to everyone who supports what I'm trying to support. I really appreciate any of your time. This is huge to me, and it's huge to everyone else that gets to be a part of it. So stay tuned. I have more information coming about these events. And as a reminder, keep practicing loving the practice. If you need help with that, please find somebody that wants to help, because they do exist and they want to help way more than you could ever understand. And I know you might be in a position where you couldn't imagine why somebody would care, but believe me, we care. We care a lot. So keep practicing loving the practice, and I look forward to hearing back from you. Peace.